But it still hurts because we could have did better. I wasn't there, but we could have did a better job. When I became a colonel in 2013, it's gonna come out, I changed the policy of the Broward Sheriff's Office active shooter to say you will go in, you will. Not may and not maybe. You can think about it, maybe. I said you will.
Al Pollock, I want to make sure you get an opportunity today, not just talk about other candidates, but to talk about you and what you think as a longtime BSO employee and now retired, living the retired high life. What is making you jump back in, and what do you bring to this position?
I bring, number one, honesty, experience, qualified, and I'm capable of leading BSO to the next level, to the greatness that it once was. BSO is broken. It's being mismanaged, and the politics have really infiltrated it, and it's just bad.
So, I just want to stop you, and I don't mean to interrupt, but you just said something that so resonates. The Broward Sheriff is an elected position. It is a political position, and the people in it, whether they like it or not, have to be politicians. You are or have not been one of those. How do you expect to handle being a top law enforcer, but also have to be a politician? How do you do that?
First of all, Leonard, we need to put public safety first. That's what I will do. My job is to protect the people of Broward County. That's my job, and that's what I will do first and foremost, is to make sure that the citizens of Broward County are safe and protected. I think the timing is right. I think the people in Broward County want to change. And when you got two sheriffs back to back, the first vote of no confidence was in 2018, and then we just had one, as you very well know, in the last 24 hours. I mean, this is something throughout my history of BSO has never happened before. And I spent more than 35 years there. I mean, I can recall the times when deputies didn't have a voice. We didn't have unions. But now, we do have unions that are there to protect, the employees.
What do you want people to know about you? You are the only other candidate that has raised any significant amount of money. What do you want people to know about you that maybe this is their first time that are going to see you?
And I didn't get any money from any special interests, so mine mostly came from residents of Broward County. I just wanted people to know that I spent more than 35 years with the Broward Sheriff's Office. I went through the ranks. I retired as a colonel, and in 2017, I have the experience and I have the knowledge. That's something that the sheriff that's currently there does not have. He doesn't have the institutional knowledge. Okay, when you have a vote of confidence coming from lieutenants that have more rank than the current temporary sheriff, there's a problem.
I think Colonel is good. Colonel, this morning in an op-ed in the Sun Sentinel, you write about your candidacy, why you believe you are the best candidate, and at one point you say, I am the honest candidate who will bring positive change to this law enforcement agency. That seems to imply that some of the other candidates are dishonest. Are there dishonest candidates?
Yes, sir. That's a fact. First of all, the current sheriff shouldn't even be a deputy.
I will not stand here and be lectured to about the laws of investigative practices because no one up there had the experience that I had or my staff. So, sir, you're out of line with the context of what you are demanding from me, and I won't accept it. Mayor, is there any other question you have for me?
That is the same question your officers use.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong.
The sheriff left the meeting declining to say anything more.
Listen, you guys have your time. I got a lot of stuff to run to. I'm not shy of the media, but right now we got other stuff to do. You'll have your time, all right?
Florida Bulldog is reporting that Sheriff Tony shot and killed somebody when he was just a teenager.
And we just spoke with the sheriff here at BSO headquarters. He does not dispute the details of this report. Broward Sheriff Gregory Tony is on the record tonight about a violent encounter. It was May of 1993 when Tony shot and killed 18-year-old Hector Rodriguez in his inner city Philadelphia neighborhood. The story, first reported by the Florida Bulldog online newspaper, says the gun belonged to Tony's father, a story the sheriff does not dispute. But most Broward County citizens were unaware of the killing, the former Coral Springs sergeant, who later ran his own company specializing in active shooter training, never revealed the information on his hiring forms or in interviews.
Whether I said it in an interview or saying it right now, this is not something that I'm afraid to speak in public about, but the reality of it is in an application process, when you're coming in for an employment, one, it doesn't require you to bring it up.
It actually asks on the application if you had ever been to court, have ever been arrested. It's a very broad question. The answer with what you have told us should really have been yes, factually.
Sheriff, again, sort of a corollary here. At the beginning of this year, you filled out a sworn affidavit for the Florida Department of Law Enforcement and said that you had never had a criminal record sealed or expunged. But that wasn't true either.
Weeks after learning Broward County Sheriff Gregory Tony never disclosed that he shot a man dead as a teenager in 1993, there are now new details about his resume that could impact his campaign. CBS 4's Joe Murray explains.
Another week, another pushback from Broward Sheriff Gregory Tony, this time a claim he used LSD and then failed to mention it when he applied to the Coral Springs Police Department, where he rose to the rank of sergeant.
How do voters deal with that? And especially since then, the supervisor in Coral Springs, in hindsight, said he probably would not have hired you for your first job there.
The Broward Sheriff is certainly more than just a lawman. He is the CEO of more than 5,600 employees, a budget of close to $1 billion.
And to get elected, a politician of sorts as well. The frontrunners in the race for Broward Sheriff have made it contentious from the start. The current appointed sheriff against the former, who the governor suspended in the wake of the mass shooting at Douglas High School. And both are here with us today. And we begin with that former sheriff, Scott Israel, who tried unsuccessfully to get the job back through the legislature and the courts.
Why should they put you back in, given what happened at Fort Lauderdale Airport and at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High?
Sure, we've talked about this before. They should put me back in because of my record. We had an exemplary record.
Shot fired downstairs. Lower level inside. We have a subject with gunshot to the head.
I've given amazing leadership to this agency.
Amazing leadership?
I've worked, yes, Jake.
We never had a scandal. There was no corruption.
That you yourself were accused 6 times of using excessive force when you were out in the field making an arrest.
An overwhelming margin of voters in the second largest BSO deputies union say they don't have confidence in the sheriff.
534 deputies and sergeants cast their ballot to say that, Sheriff, we no longer have confidence in your leadership.
A no confidence vote by the Broward Sheriff's Office Deputies Association. It's the second largest union at BSO, representing more than 1,000 road patrol deputies.
Michael, I think I've done more than any leader to blow up the schoolhouse to jailhouse pipeline.
Let's talk a little bit more about that, because really this whole race, fair or not, is enveloped by, likely caused by, that massacre in February 2018 at Stoneman Douglas High. So you have said that you have not done anything wrong. The governor removed you for what he called incompetence and negligence, which you've been fighting from the get-go.
The I team got this after-action draft report from the Broward County Sheriff's Office. It identifies at least 75 things that went wrong.
But for what went on there and at the airport, and you were the sheriff, you've also said leaders lead. So doesn't the buck stop with the sheriff, which would have been with you?
The buck stops as far as responsibility, fixing problems, the policies, the procedures.